you want to establish a business or grow your business by printing headwear and profiting with it, this is one video you have to watch. In under 30 minutes, I'm going to complete this job, talk to you about the different options out there for decorating caps, the right technique to do it correctly every time, and talk a little bit about how to go out and sell and build your business with this profitable category. Without further ado, let's get started. All right, I have the press set at 280 degrees on top, 320 degrees on bottom. As you see, as I'm pressing this job, I'm always going to flip the sweatband out and kind of situate the cap against the press. I like to just touch down for a second to warm the base, and that'll allow me to take my genuine leather patch and position it directly into place, and it holds in place. I won't need to use the thermo tape. So it's a 30-second dwell time on all of these. So 280 degrees, top heat, 320 bottom, 30-second dwell time. Plenty of time for me to get the next cap situated and ready to load. So I'll just get a couple of these ready to load each time. Important to have plenty of table space as you are running a job. This machine does automatically open. Unlock the hold down device and I have a completed cap. Load the next one on. Need to follow my own rules. Come in from the opposite side of the hold down device, makes it easier to load. Alignment's pretty easy on these. I have a dirty side of my 1/8" pad that I'm using here. I dedicate this pad specifically to the leather because it tends to get a little bit of that product releasing onto the pad. So here we go. Nice completed result. It's on there, it's durable, and so we're just going to rock through these 23 caps, and then I'm going to do a couple hats at the end that are different to go ahead and throw in the box with this order to hopefully spur on a new idea. These leather patches and pretty much any of the dimensional products sold by Stahls come in a 25-piece minimum order. And so selling in quantities of 2 dozen, I think is a good idea. And that will always give you one extra patch in every order. And so in case you mess one up, you have an extra patch. But if you don't mess anything up, now all of a sudden we have a sample in the client's logo that we can place onto a different product and include it in the box, which will generate perhaps, you know, the next order or something they didn't think about before. I love utilizing the same artwork, same logo over and over again if I can. It just saves me time on art setup. So whenever you're running a lot of caps, if you establish the business, one of the great things here, it's a 30-second dwell time on the genuine leather. And so it's very easy. I could be running 2 machines. So one operator running 2 machines, no problem. You can load these pretty quick. I found an average operator, if you're just getting started, takes about 3 minutes per cap on one machine. Once you get to the point where you're running 2 machines and you get really efficient with it and used to doing it like I am, you should be able to press a cap, 1 hat or 1 product per minute coming off of a set of these machines. And actually, you're seeing here, I'm probably closer to a cap a minute with my pace, even on 1 machine. But 2 machines, you're going to get a lot more throughput. okay? So you're going to be able to go a lot quicker. We're going to be on cap number 5. Now this is a 360 press, which means I can do 360 degrees around the cap if I wanted. This one's just sold with a front placement, so we're going to keep it simple like that, but no problem to go side placement, pressing on the mesh, doing any of these products on the mesh, or on a fitted cap. Certainly you could do the back of a cap on like the flex fit style, and actually I have 4 flex fit caps that we'll do at the end on this order that have they don't have a back placement, but certainly a back placement zone that we could hit directly over the seam, even on 6-panel cap. So these truckers are flat bill. They're 5-panel, which means there's no center seam on a cap. And so when you're decorating headwear, if you're just getting started, it's going to be important to start to understand the lingo. 5-panel, 6-panel, even 7-panel caps are out there in the market now, which is kind of a unique style that you can do. A couple of the cap wholesalers that I like are Sanmar or S&S Activewear. So they're 2 great suppliers to work with. They have different brands, so it makes sense to set up an account with both and explore their lineup. But those would be great options. And so as we're running this job, talk a little bit about sale price and profit. What I find is that when you're decorating a hat, usually you're not selling it for less than $14. Certainly once we get into dimensional products and emblems, we are pushing that sale price up. I know folks at decorators that have sold caps up into the $30 range. And so I like to think about, a minimum of $18 a cap for this type of dimensional work, probably targeting around that $22 to $25 range. Keep in mind, like 25-piece runs on headwear is pretty much unheard of for a product like this. And one of your advantages when you're decorating with dimensional emblems and patches from Stahls is not only is it low quantity minimums, so you can do the 25 pieces no problem, but it's also quick. And so after you upload your artwork on Stahls.com, you will get a proof back. Usually that proof takes a couple days, and it's an actual photo of the leather patch that we received. And so I'm able to look at an actual photo to size, be able to approve that, and then Stahls will start making the order. The leather patches are super quick, but the dimensional product line in general takes about 5 business days, I would say, until it ships out, depending on the product line. Some take 7, some take 3, but I think 5 days is good on average. So from the time you upload an order to the time you actually have your patch and your pressing, I think 10 business days is a really nice estimate for the full product range. And so that means when you go to launch headwear as a product to your customers, I'd probably be setting it up somewhere around aggressively a 14 business day turn up to a 21 business day turn. And that's quite a bit faster than what you see out there in the market. I've heard some suppliers are running 6 to 8 weeks on custom decorated headwear. And here you're able to bring it down to that 2 to 3 week range. It's going to be a lot of opportunity. So not only do we have the quality here, but we also have the quantity with being able to run low or high quantities on this machine. But we have speed, right? And so turn time and being able to deliver it quick allows me to sell at a slightly higher price. And so don't discount the value of speed. It's all part of the offer. And so if you've never used dimensional emblem products before, genuine leather is what I'm using here. It's a little bit thicker, it kind of stands off of the cap, right? And it is actual genuine leather. And there are 3 colors available. I'm working with the caramel color now. There's also a darker color called taupe, and there's a lighter color, I believe it's called natural. And you can order different contrasts, right? So you can get either a heavy contrast like I have here, or a light contrast if you want it to be a little bit more distressed, I guess would be a good word for it. Now, so that's the genuine leather. So 3 color choices, each with the 2 different contrasts. And then if you have somebody that doesn't want a genuine leather, there is faux leather, right? And so faux leather, some people brand it as vegan leather. There's no animals used in the manufacturing of it. It's a thinner product. We get a lot of similar colors, but we also get some additional colors since it is a synthetic man-made product. There's a nice black and silver that would look great in this logo, even on a black cap. That's a great option. So the faux leather is a great choice. Slightly less expensive as well per patch than the genuine leather. So you're able to save a little bit of money. One other important thing to note about the faux leather versus the genuine leather is the faux leather is actually can be laundered. Okay, so Stahls does not recommend that you launder the genuine leather because nobody really washes or launders their leather jacket, right? And so same thing, you don't want to wash your leather patch. It's not that it's going to fall off of the garment, it's just the leather itself is going to break down. And so that's another great use for the faux leather, is that with the faux leather, we're going to be able to have something that can be washed, that can be dried, as long as it's applied properly. So a lot of folks will use this same press to not only decorate a cap, which hardly ever gets washed, if at all, but they'll use it to decorate a left chest on a polo, or a left chest location on a jacket, right? And so how I think about that is, hey, my minimum order is 25 patches. Really, I can go out and I can target sets of product, right? Or bundles of product. So I can go into maybe a team is a great instance, like, you know, a basketball team, something like that. They may only have 12, 13 players on the roster. But if I can get each roster player 2 products or 3 products with the same logo, now all of a sudden I'm doing maybe a cap, a bag, and a jacket or a warm-up or something for each kid. So you don't have to have 25 people at the organization. You're able to do it for smaller groups with having that 25. Now, of course, you save money as you go up in quantity. So there's price breaks at 50, 100, I believe 150, certainly 250 and 500. And so we see a lot of folks that will have average orders up into the 70s in these products. That's not uncommon. So it all depends on the target market. So team and school, sometimes those are a little bit smaller run orders that we're used to dealing with. But when we take this type of product out into corporate, especially industrial trades, construction, gas, oil, those sorts of markets. This example is going to a church. Another great example where you can get quantity runs of orders. There are a lot of opportunities to go up into quantity. And I love that for a heat press decorator, right? When we think about heat press decorating, sometimes we think about low quantity or personalization. It's certainly good for that. But when we get into these premium results, like you can't create this leather patch any other way. You can't screen print it, right? And so when that same customer that ordered 25 last year now all of a sudden wants to use this product and give it to all their employees for, maybe it's for Christmas or for end of year giving, holiday, maybe they want to incorporate it in onboarding. There are a lot of opportunities to take this product and scale it up. So yes, when you get an order, pressing that extra 1 to 2 items is going to allow you to sell different product assortment to the same customer. but I'm going to give you another way to go out and find your first customers with this product. So what I love about this is that it's really easy to order samples. So for $26, you're going to upload your artwork. You're going to pay $26 in a setup fee, right? That's part of the process. We pay the $26 to set it up. That gets me that proof that I was talking to you about earlier, the camera proof, or in some cases a virtual rendering, depending on the patch product that you're ordering. And then what's really awesome is you have a choice to actually order a sample as part of that proof. And so what that means, yeah, you're going to pay the $26 for the proof, okay? And then it's about $13, between $12 and $13, you can order a physical sample and specify that when you upload it. And so for the leather product that we're using here, it's one sample, right? We'll get that actual physical sample. We'll get one patch. And so we can decorate a product to show a new potential customer. Now, Stahls has a product called Flex Style, which is, some decorators call it liquid embroidery when they're selling it to their customers, like a plastic sort of logo where it looks like it's molded. On that one, you actually get 5 samples for that same price. So not only can you decorate one product to show the client, but you can show them several samples at least in their logo. And so what I like to coach people to do is, yeah, you're going to invest some money into a piece of machinery, right? Hopefully you have a business plan before you buy that machinery. You have a list of target customers that you think you can go out and sell hats to. Maybe they're today's customers, or I've seen companies stand up from scratch with just this machine and focus exclusively on headwear. You don't have to print t-shirts and hats and hoodies and everything. You can focus on a particular product category and get really good at it and get known for it. And so what I want to tell you is, in addition to the money that you're budgeting for machine, you need to budget some money to order a bunch of different style of caps in, so you can experiment with them and make samples. So build that into your budget. Order, a couple of dozens of styles, so you have choices and can show physical samples. And then set aside, I'd say about $50 per target customer. So let's say you want to go out and you want to target 50 customers at first. I think 50 is a good number. Create that target list. Budget $50 per customer to acquire them, to go out there and make samples. And I know that may sound like a lot of money, but it's going to be a lot less expensive and a lot less time consuming for you in the long haul, and you're going to cut through the clutter, right? Sending emails, making phone calls, mailing letters. These are all great things, but I'm telling you, I've seen it time and time again. There is no substitute for an actual physical sample in the client's logo. And that's the sales process that I see people implementing over and over again that grows business with this machine. We see it in our Heat Press for Profit Facebook group. So if you're on Facebook and you're not a part of that today, there's entrepreneurs that run apparel decorating businesses in that group that are talking every day about how they grow their business and their sales. And we have many product experts in there that are actual decorators that are doing things just like this, that are implementing sampling strategies across products, and they've really been successful at growing their business. So yeah, you can start with 10 customers, $500, and go with 50 customers. I'm going to encourage you to do that, $2,500. I know it's going to work for you. So budget the money and plan for it, right? If you don't have that type of money to invest in the business right now, then I would encourage you to keep working on your plan, keep building up the funds, and so you can make a realistic go at it, right? There's a lot of hat presses on the market. There's one hat press that heats from top and bottom that's going to deliver this type of capability to you. And that's this Hotronix 360 IQ. I firmly believe in this press and what you can do with it. And once you have one, you're going to want to press those jobs quicker. Once you land those customers, trust me, you'll be at 2 before you know it. Finding on average profitability per cap, and again, depends on selling price. I started to talk about this a little bit earlier as we move to a different style of cap, a flex fit now. Profitability on cap. Hold tight, I'm going to tell you in a second. Let me give you a loading technique. So on the Flex Fit, it has this sort of flexible band. And so just loading it kind of gets stuck here, right? And so what I like to do on the Flex Fit is I like to come in, pull it a little bit forward, and then retract it back. And that kind of grabs the band against the rubbery base platen that is heated, and that holds it a little bit better for me. So I find customers are making between $5 and $10 in profit per cap that they're decorating. So lots of profit in this. So on the $10 side, if you're good at identifying your client's needs and selling and delivering value to them with the exact combination that they want, I'm going to adjust my pressure a little bit, retract the pressure a bit. If you're good at finding that, you're going to find yourself on the $10 per profit side of it. You know, if you start to get into pressing 500 caps, you may find that you're more on the $5 profit side of it. But on average, $5 to $10 in profit. So what I like to tell people is you sell about 220 caps, right? Or 220 products coming off this machine. You've paid for the machine and you're into profit now. And so I love that about this machine is we're into ROI super quick. Again, if I told you your minimum order is 25, but the average order we're seeing off of this is around 75 caps, you know, we're really only talking about landing 3 orders and I've paid off my machine and now I'm into pure profit, right? So we're going to time this out as we're going through here, knowing it's taking me a couple minutes per cap. We complete this whole job. Then you need to do the math to figure out how much money you can make in a day, right? And I believe it's really a matter of selling it. The press can print it. You can create high quality. There's no need to sew it. These are durable patches, industrial grade adhesive, manufactured and delivered to you as we talked about. It's just a matter of creating those samples and standing up a sales program to be able to grow the business. And what I always tell somebody, if you do the math, you can, off of 2 machines, pressing 1 hour per day. Now, it's going to take you a lot more to design and sell and market and do all those things. But literally working at the heat press 1 hour per day, 252 working days a year. I'm going to guess how much profit you can make. Give you guys a second to think about that. Crunch the math. I just crunched this math this weekend. Oh, forgot my hold down device here. So the answer is over $100,000, right? And so it's about 100, if my memory serves me right, it's about $133,000 in profit. At 252 working days, how many caps you can do off of 2 machines with an hour sold a day, that's the type of profit, right? And so it's just over 15,000 caps a year. Can you sell 15,000 caps a year? I don't know. Probably not if it's just another thing. But if you really put the attention to it and focus on it, that's the type of money you can make. And when I talk about profit, I'm not talking about not including labor, not including overhead. I've done this long enough. I've seen enough small businesses that don't do that. These calculations include not only the cost of materials, that's the cap, the patch, and the shipping to get it there, includes the labor, which means your time, you're paying yourself a rate to complete the work, right? We want to pay ourselves a rate to complete the work, so eventually we can replace ourselves and hire somebody to press the caps, right? That would be success, I would say. And then overhead. And so we're also including our space, our electricity, our sales expense, our marketing expense. All of that hits that bucket of overhead or indirect expenses, right? And so if you're not paying yourself for the work you're doing, if you're not calculating all the indirect expense, your space that goes into doing this type of business, you need to start including that. These profit calculations have included that. So in this job, I think we're at 25 pieces. So I have 4 of these Flex Fit caps. This will be the last one completed. I have, I think, about 19 of the trucker snapback style. And then I found myself with 2 extra logos because of the 25 minimum. And so that's the 2 extra products that are going to go to this organization to show them what's out there and what's possible, right? So this is the job. Now, I've picked this USA hat. It's a Richardson 112, I believe, which is one of the more popular styles out there. One of the more difficult to load and print, so I'm going to make sure I get it flat on there. Still going to tap against to preheat. And the reason I picked this style is, yeah, these black caps are going to work for the majority of the year, but maybe this will inspire them to print for an occasion, whether that is Memorial Day or whether that's, you know, 4th of July. Tons of opportunities. An Americana cap is always a great idea. And so hopefully this is going to just either spur that idea, or it could be that special edition item that the person that placed the order is going to have that's a little bit different, a little bit extra than what everybody has. Either way, it's going to surprise the customer. It's going to delight the customer. It's going to potentially lead to another opportunity for me to get another order with this same logo, this same art that I've already set up. And so that's one of the extras that's going to go into the box. The second extra, because maybe there is a church camp or something else that they're affiliated with, we're going to do this bucket cap, which is great. I think this would make for a great youth style cap as well, maybe for their youth group. And so this just shows you can hit all different types of print locations on this machine. Again, same process, same logo, nothing different. I've already paid for the patches. What good are they going to do sitting on a shelf or a drawer in my business? Let's get these on the products. Let's get it into customers' hands. Maybe I write a little handwritten note or type a letter that outlines the extras that are going to go in the box, why I included them, and give them some special deal to come back and add these products. Because, again, the majority of the work is done. As long as I'm ordering this logo at the same size, which I'm showing them the same size in the same style, I'm not going to have to pay another setup fee. All I'm going to do is place a reorder. So it's quick. It's that 5 business days till it ships out and gets to them. All right, let's review the finished results and wrap up this video. So in just 30 minutes, we've completed this entire order. It's quick, it's easy, and it's accurate with the Hotronix 360 IQ. If you own this machine, hopefully you picked up some tips and tricks how to load the caps correctly and print them correctly, but more importantly, how to grow your business and line up new customers. If you're considering starting into headwear, there's no machine that's better on the market. I proved it to you today. There's a ton of profit, a ton of return that can be made, so just get started. You can check out the links for more information down in the description, and I would encourage you to go ahead and set up an appointment with one of our team members that can answer any questions for you. The link's down in the description. Thanks for watching.